Hey everyone, it's me, the Dom Fanatic, and welcome to week 2 of the PPL Champions Draft League edition. So last week we did play Lars, and spoiler, shield warning, we lost the series 2-1 in a very close 3-game series. Honestly, a really good start to the season in terms of enjoyment and entertainment. Obviously, result-wise, not what we wanted. So, this week, we're up against Gunk. Gunk had a very good, solid win in week 1, I believe. If I remember watching the video correctly. I definitely watched it. I'm pretty sure she won 2-0. However, I can't remember off the top of my head. So Gunk's had a good start to the season. And Gunk's team is terrifying. It's full of 2 incredible new Megas in the Mega Dragonite and Mega Frostlass. It's got the Medicham with Pure Power and the potential to skill swap onto something like the Talonflame, which would be terrifying. The Mega Dragonite, the King Gambit, Pure Power King Gambit would be god-awful to face. Primarina is just a very solid mon, obviously with strong stab, Hyper Voice with liquid voice ability. Talonflame giving really strong Tailwind support, but also strong priority Brave Bird if it needs to. Ariados is like a mon that's been on the rise in Champions, considering String Shot can do spread speed, debuffing. You've got Toxic Threads, you've got just priority and like Shadow Sneak, strong first impression, Toxic Spikes, just a really good utility mon. Torterra is always a threat, obviously with the potential to Shell Smash. And then there's like a Morpeko and a Rotom Frost. Rotom Frost could very well come here, because obviously I have got the snow on my side. But Morpeko is Morpeko. Yeah. So that's the matchup this week. And in terms of my side, I think I really like the looks of Mega Gardevoir here. I think it's got the ability to go extremely crazy offensively, just by clicking Hyper Voice into quite a lot of things, and things that take the Hyper Voice well don't appreciate the Psychic move and Psyshock. And then there's coverage for the likes of King Gambit, who can take both hits pretty well. I also think Rock spam into this team is really strong. Their resist is King Gambit and Torterra. Torterra, the latter being weak to the Flying Stab of Mega Aerodactyl, and King Gambit potentially facing, quad super effective fighting moves from many other things on my team. So my Megas this week are both really solid. So depending on what Gunk brings, could depend on how I then play the rest of my team. But they're like my big main threats, and Rock is just good into Gunk's team, which obviously means I think Hisuian Arcanine can go a bit crazy here too. So let's get into the team a bit more. I've kind of already mentioned how good my Megas can be this game. So we are running an Adamant Offensive Aerodactyl with Dual Wing Beat, Rock Slide, Wide Guard and Protect. Wide Guard obviously for the Blizzard spam and the Hyper Voice spam that could come from both the Frostlass and the Primarina. I expect Gunk to prep to play around that, because Gunk is a good battler and used to that kind of stuff. But it's better to have it and, not have it and be sad because of it. Protect obviously is just protect in doubles, but the combination of Dual Wing Beat and Rock Slide hits everything on Gunk's team for super effective damage, other than the Primarina and the King Gambit and the Morpeko. Morpeko and Primarina don't resist the Rock Slides, that should still be doing some decent damage as well. Next is the Arcanine. I already mentioned again, Rock's really strong into Gunk this week. And it just so happens Gunk's 2 rock resists are weak to fire. So just bring in a Choice Scarf for Rock Head, Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Rock Slide, CC. Arcanine seems really solid this week. Next is Mega Gardevoir. Now I don't need the speed on Gardevoir this week, because there's not a lot of things that actually threaten it offensively. When I look at Gunk's team, the main things are going to be the Ariados and the King Gambit, which can kind of hit me really hard. So I've gone for a physically defensive set with Hyper Voice, Aura Sphere, Psyshock, and Protect. It still lets me hit off really hard Hyper Voices with the investment I've got. I am a modest nature. Aura Sphere is obviously for the King Gambit. I've got enough investment to ensure that one-hit KOs. Obviously, if there's a Choppleberry, that won't be the case. But I should take an Iron Head. But I'll also take things like a Brave Bird really well. If there's a physical Mega Dragonite, I can take hits from that pretty well too. There is obviously also potential for Shell Smash Torterra, with no like Mirror Herb or anything. It's obviously quite hard to combat that, so the defensive investment again helps me take hits unless Gunk is running like Wood Hammer or something to really hit as hard as possible. Next is the Empoleon. I think this is quite a telegraphed bring on my behalf. I think Gunk will know that I have to bring Empoleon here, but it's coming because obviously it shuts down Frostlass pretty well unless it brings Thunderbolt. It shuts down Primarina really well. It shuts down the Ariados really well. It takes on Mega Dragonites, both stabs really well. Obviously Dragonite does get coverage. Defensively, it checks a lot of her hard hitters pretty decently. Oh, and the King Gambit as well, obviously in the steel type attacks. So we are running Flash Cannon, Hydro Pump. That kind of does enough to do enough damage across the board. Yawn is to stop setup, so if I'm thinking like Shell Smash from Torterra, or if I need to potentially Yawn a King Gambit that is click Swords Dance, things like that, I think Yawn could be really useful. Next, we've got Pangoro coming again, so I didn't really expect to bring it too much, but Pangoro into this team is pretty nice offensively. Obviously, with Scrappy, I can just CC things here. I don't expect Flame Body Talonflame. Primarina has to potentially risk a Gunk Shot. Rock Slide is also really good coverage, as I've mentioned. You know, Rock Slide into Gunk's team is really good. I have CC to hit the King Gambit extremely hard. Yeah, and Torterra probably won't want to take a CC too much either. We've got a little bit of bulk, similar to last week, just to help us live hits a bit better, get into citrus range and then recover our health and just continue to hit hard. But I'm hoping Pangoro, I don't think it'll have as big a role this week, but I'm hoping it can do something. Then finally, it's going to be the debut for Runerigus. Now, Runerigus is mainly here because of Medicham. Body Press, Poltergeist, Will-O-Wisp and Protect with the Pasho Berry to help with the Primarina. Obviously I can't really do a lot to Frostlass here, but I think my team in general is pretty well equipped for Frostlass, so I don't fear it too much there. Obviously this helps me take on the Medicham mostly and the Talonflame. I can Will-O-Wisp physical threats in the Torterra. I can also get rid of any kind of overgrowth shenanigans to help, which might help boost Gunk's offensive output once it's been shell smashed. So I think the Wandering Spirit plus the bulk and just general longevity it can provide in this matchup will be really solid for me here. So that's the matchup. That's the team. Let me know how you think this will go in the comments down below. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out all the coaches' links in the description below. And I'll see you for the battle. Pick a different team. Right, here we go. This is what we want. Right, now I'm ready. Right, so what do they... So it's a bit scummy, but she led the Prim and the Talonflame. So the good news is, right, Choice Scarf Arcanine just kind of deletes things in this matchup, right? If Prim is gone, then Flare Blitz is just incredibly free. If Torterra goes, then Head Smash. I mean, Head Smash is pretty free anyway, right? So what leads do I want? Aerodactyl looks pretty good. The Empoleon looks pretty decent here, if I'm honest. With the Arcanine, there is a Medicham. We saw a Medicham lead, so Runerigus lead could be quite nice. We are running Wide Guard on the Mega Aero. There isn't too much immediately that threatens Gardevoir, so I think Gardevoir and Arcanine lead is pretty free. There is a Medicham, so Runerigus could be quite nice, and the Empoleon, honestly, pretty nice matchup here too. Do I want to bring the Pangoro? Because if Pangoro could deal with the Morpeko quite nicely, I think we'll try this. I did say that Pangoro needs to be kill leader for this this season. So yeah,
Good luck, have fun, Gunk. I really hope that she didn't lead with her actual lead in that last game. The Arcanine being scarfed, though, pretty much guarantees me a kill. Now let me get my calcs up again. I've got my calcs, so I'm pretty sure Arcanine, Prim. So do the Prim and the what's it called? So this is a really good lead for me, right? If this is max defense, Primarina, bold. Head Smash does 60% min. Now I don't know how much Gardevoir does. With Hyper Voice. So we obviously doubles. So Hyper Voice into Head Smash should kill every time, right? So I'm going to Mega Evolve. Now, do I click the Aura Sphere into the Morpeko expecting a Protect here? Probably not, but I'm just going to Head Smash, right? Into the Prim. Seeing if anything here is Scarfed. So she does stay in. So the Morpeko, so game 1 is Guard, Arcanine, we're going for the round shenanigans. So that's a dead Arcanine, because round is obviously going to destroy me here. So that's just genius prep, what can I say? So Arcanine goes down, we have got the... okay, well, that thing just died. Holy shit. Morpeko. Prim. So I wonder if that stops the round shenanigans now. I did bring Pangoro. And the fact that maybe they're running round means they're not running speed on Prim. What have you got left? Hang on, how much did, so Hyper Voice did, I feel like that did 41%, so it's definitely max HP. So Psyshock doesn't kill, so I'm going to go Runerigus, because if I can kill the Prim, so we see the Medicham. Okay, so the Runerigus was a really nice read here for me. I could double protect. There is just absolutely no way, right, that I mean, you could try and fake out the... I am Pasho. I could Poltergeist. How much does Poltergeist do to this Primarina? Nothing if it's not got an item, apparently. Well, let's just say you're Mystic Water. Poltergeist does not do enough. I could protect here. I'll double protect just to scout what she wants to do. There's no way you run round on Medicham, right? There's just no way. There's the fake out into the guard. If this is Calm Mind, that could be kind of scary. No, it's the Hyper Voice. Okay. So, I don't think Runerigus is in a bad spot. I am Pasho, so I think I Psyshock. Do I Psyshock or do I Hyper Voice and then Poltergeist? See, the thing is, if this is Citrus, then Poltergeist isn't going to work. So I'm going to Poltergeist anyway. We do see the Detect from the Medicham. So actually, the Hyper Voice is going to come out and do a lot of damage here. Now, are they Citrus? They're not Citrus, which is good to see. We are the Pasho. Is Runerigus going to get a kill? Hopefully, it doesn't miss. And we're going to see what item this is. We hit the Poltergeist. And you are Mystic Water. Okay, so it's Mystic Water Prim. And Prim goes down. So Guard is 1-0. Runerigus has a kill. Arcanine is 0-1. Morpeko is 0-1. Prim is 1-1. So what's left in the back? Is it Frostlass? I am no speed on guard. So if there is a... Okay, so it's the Talonflame. Okay, this is quite scary for me. I need to kill the Talonflame off. Do they Tailwind here? Possibly. And I could Willow the Medicham. I don't think the Medicham wants to touch Runerigus because then it loses huge power. I have got some bulk again on my Pangoro. So, actually, I may live a Brave Bird. Obviously, I can't burn it. But we're kind of going aggressive here. I don't think Talonflame can kill Gardevoir because I am quite physically defensive. There's the Tailwind. Do I live a Poison Jab or anything? We see the Ice Punch. That's not going to do enough. Does it freeze me? It doesn't. The Psyshock is going to do a lot of damage, right? Jesus, that's done so much. We do land the Willow too, which is enormous. And we burn the Medi. So, we haven't seen... I mean, the Pangoro... Do I now Poltergeist the Medicham here? Medi's burn. It's not a problem for me now, right? I haven't actually got Dark Move on Pangoro this week, which is slightly scary. How do I want to play this? Do I want to... I think I protect and I Poltergeist the Talonflame here. I did it just in time. Right, so we do see the Talonflame protect here, which is quite bad. We do protect this. I still don't think it's going to be attacking the Runerigus because it doesn't want to lose the huge power. So I think Runerigus will live a hit from... So I think I can Hyper Voice here, right? Because I take a hit from... I take a hit with Runerigus either way because I am very physically bulky. And if it wants to attack me, they lose their abilities, which is huge. And if they want to then leave the Gardevoir, they Brave Bird the Gardevoir. Yep, that's fine. So we're going to see Recoil. So we're now going to see an Ice Punch. Yep. Chew that. Don't freeze. No freeze. And you have no pure power. You're burnt without pure power. So do you see the Poltergeist into the Talonflame? Talonflame's charcoal. So the Runerigus goes 2. And then my last one is the Pangoro. Which doesn't have anything to hit this with, which is annoying. You're not pure power, you're burn. So I'm just going to have to... I guess I'm going to have to Gunk Shot and reveal that tech. And then I'm going to Poltergeist you. If you have Drain Punch, that could be quite annoying. I'm hoping you're not buried. You do CC me. How much is this going to do? That still doesn't even do half. That's a burn without pure power. The Gunk Shot lands. Does it kill? It does. Peeved Paul getting another kill. You love to see it when Peeved Paul gets a kill. So Runerigus absolutely putting in a shift that game. Jesus. So that was Talon got the kill. Went 1-1, and Medicham went 0-1. Okay, so there was no Frostlass. What did we note there? So we saw round shenanigans. I think Scarf Arcanine could still work here, but in the back still seems pretty solid. so there's round shenanigans there for Morpeko and Prim. Medi was what? Fake Out, Ice Punch, CC. Don't know what else detect. So we've seen the whole... Yeah, so it can't really hit the Gardevoir. She can't really hit the Gardevoir very hard at all. Does she lead Morpeko Prim again? Is the question. Now I know Arcanine didn't do a lot, but Talon was Brave Bird, Tailwind. We saw Protect, so it must have Flare Blitz. Because it's Charcoal. Now, I don't know why you'd be Charcoal, if I'm honest, into my team. So, we'll ready up. Right, good luck, have fun. It was a pretty hacks-free game as well. So, what changes does she make? I mean, Torterra could come here, honestly. But I do have the Mega Aero. Do they lead Prim again? Is my thing. I could see a Medicham lead this game. What with, though, is the question. I think Guard overall is just a safe lead for me, right? If I do bring Guard, then Aerodactyl obviously doesn't come. I mean, I can bring it, but it's my other Mega. But Hyper Voice into this team is just really good. So it's hard to turn up, if I'm honest. I think Arcanine in the back could be solid again. The Runerigus into anything that isn't the... I think I'll bring Empoleon this time. And I will bring the Arcanine. I think, yeah, we'll lock in with that. We'll give Empoleon some time, right? Right, so game 2. We have got the Guard, the Runerigus, Empoleon, and the Arcanine. So we see the Torterra lead and the Talonflame lead. Okay, I'd say overall this is pretty good for us here. So I could Mega Evolve here, just Hyper Voice or Protect. I'm pretty sure I can take some hits. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp on the Torterra. Are we about to see Shell Smash Torterra? That's a possibility, if I'm honest. Did I prep for that? Not really. I am quite a bulky Gardevoir though, so if I can get the burn off, we'll see if it's Lum. I'm thinking if it is Shell Smash, it's probably going to be White Herb to clear those defense boosts. So a burn would be huge for me here, and I'm very confident I'll take some hits from both mons here. It could also potentially be Swords Dance rather than Shell Smash, because there is a Tailwind option. So we see the Protect. So actually, if I land this Wisp, I think I'm then pretty free just to be clicking Hyper Voice, no? See the Wood Hammer, do we chew? We should chew that, right? Yeah, we tank it. Don't miss this Wisp, and I think we're looking pretty decent. So we see some recoil. We land the Willow, so that is now a burn Torterra. So this puts my Arcanine and Empoleon in a really good spot in the back here. I'm going to now Hyper Voice, and I think I'm going to... She might expect me to protect my Runerigus here, although there's not really a lot of point in me doing that, so I'm just going to let Runerigus go, I think, at this point. Because Arcanine can just kind of come in after this and click Flare Blitz into the entire team, if it's not Prim. I mean, at this point, it could also just click Head Smash. Although maybe not, actually, because Prim in the back is the only Fire Resist, whereas Medicham is also Fire Resist. Thingy Resist. Okay, so I'm clicking Hyper Voice. That Morpeko we know isn't... Ah, nice. Okay. So, we do now see the Wide Guard. which is fine, to be honest, because I did expect that. Sorry, I didn't expect Wide Scarf. It's Choice Scarf Morpeko. Okay. That does good damage. Now, they might not know that I am running, obviously, the Aura Sphere here, so it's now a Dark type. The Protect could be quite obvious here, but I'm just going to Aura Sphere into the Morpeko. It will be dead. So I'm glad I didn't Protect last time with Runerigus. So we're seeing Talon, Torterra. It's a dead Morpeko here. You Wide Guard again, which is fine. I am physically defensive Gardevoir, so we Aura Wheel into the Runerigus slot, so that's a huge call. And we are running the Aura Sphere, and that is a dead Morpeko. So Gardevoir is looking good. Morpeko going 0-1 both games. This also means that if there is a Primarina in the back, then there is no round shenanigans going on. And Mega Gardevoir is just sitting at full health. I don't think there's anything on this on Gunk's team that can like one-shot me. So there is that. I think I just Psyshock. I could Protect you and actually swap into... No, hang on a minute. So all I need to do is kill Torterra here, right? Because then I can just lock into Rock Slide. I'll take a hit with Gardevoir unless I get frozen. Obviously, then that's just really bad. I will Poltergeist the... I'm just going offensive here. I want this Torterra dead. Because then I can start spamming the Rock Slide move. I mean, I can probably just start spamming the Head Smash too. So we see the snow come up, which is fine. And you do click the Aurora Veil. Okay. Which is actually really good for me. I think I'll get the Aura Sphere off. That's going to do nice damage to the Torterra. The burn isn't... Oh, the crit. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, man, because that's huge. So now Runerigus does, in fact, get a kill here. Does this take... Alright, let's check. Mega Frostlass. In the snow, obviously. Snow is up. Does it take a hit from... I mean, I can just kind of go into Empoleon here, right? I don't even have to show the Arcanine at this point. The Torterra's dead to the burn, so Runerigus again getting a... Actually, no, it died to recoil, so... The Empoleon is here. I think I just click Hyper Voice. Or do I Protect? I could double Protect to stall out the snow. Saying that, I don't really think... Yeah, I think, you know what? I'll Hyper Voice, and I could Yawn here into the Frostlass. But the Arcanine in the back just kind of wins as long as I hit moves right. So I will Hyper Voice, and I will, I think, Yawn into... Do I Yawn or do I just take my damage? I think I just take my damage, right? I'll Flash Cannon into this. Okay, you do Flare Blitz me, so that's fine. You're just going to be killing yourself. Are you running Thunderbolt? You are running the Thunderbolt. Okay, so the Tailwind, the lack of Tailwind, I mean, Empoleon hit the field and then just died. Frostlass does get the kill. We get the Hyper Voice off. That's some nice chip damage across the board. And then the Arcanine comes in. And genuinely, the Talonflame can't touch me. So it all just comes down to me clicking... It's not Wide Guard, we know that. I don't know if it gets Wide Guard or if it just gets Quick Guard. Lock into Rock Slide here. And I think that should be enough. What got the other kill? Did Torterra kill? Yeah, Torterra did kill. We see the Rock Slide come through. It does, in fact, just kill the Talonflame, which is nice. And the Gardevoir, as long as it doesn't die, which it shouldn't, that's a Water Pulse Frostlass.
Holy shit. Incredible tech. But Arcanine does finally get a kill, which is nice to see. And yep, the Frostlass goes down. So we do, you know, take that game. Torterra got the other kill, yeah, Talon did not. So, good game, Gunk. We managed to take the 2-0, which I really wasn't expecting. Gunk's team is just fire. I mean, the fact there was no Prim that second game was huge for me. So what was there? There was also no Medicham, which I think into my team is quite scary. It does hit quite a lot super effective there, but I think the Runerigus, I don't think she expected me to bring the Runerigus, and it put in an absolute shift for me. Although Gardevoir also went 3-1. Pangoro, another kill, but not quite climbing the leaderboard as I hoped this week, but the most important thing is we got that W. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy week 2 of the PPL Pokemon Champions edition, and we'll see you for week 3. I think I'm playing Lynn's week 3. I don't actually know though. So yeah, if you did enjoy, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, make sure you check out Gunk and all the other coaches below, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.